Assalamu alaikum viewers, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to make a Turkish recipe. It's called chicken Adana kebab. This is also one of my favorites. Some people like to eat this with Lebanese bread and salad, and some people like to eat this with rice. I'm going to make it today with rice, and I'll share with you the recipe of how I make the chicken Adana kebabs. So let's get started. For this recipe, I'm taking 2 pounds of ground chicken, but we're not going to use the chicken right now. And besides these some ingredients that I'm going to show you right now, there's other ingredients that are also involved in this recipe, but for now I'm going to just start with these and tell you what these are and how we're going to use them. So I've taken here a small to medium size red capsicum, the red simla mirch, and I have just roughly chopped it up. This is a small to medium size onion, and I have roughly chopped it up. I've taken here 4 cloves of garlic, and this was 1 large, the long green pepper, but I've tried as much as possible to take out all the seeds from it. There are some seeds that I couldn't take out, but mostly the main big stem in the middle, I have removed that. And this is about, I would say, half a cup of coriander, cilantro, and I have just roughly chopped these up. So let me tell you what's the first step. So in my food processor, I'm going to add all these things. So I'm adding the cilantro, the garlic, the green chilies I'm gonna add in, the onions, and the red capsicum. So now I'm going to turn on my food processor and I'm going to grind these things very roughly, not to a very fine paste, just very roughly. Next, I have taken a bowl here and I'm going to use a muslin cloth. I'm going to empty out all this that we ground, all the vegetables that we just ground in the blender. I'm going to take this out on this muslin cloth. And I'm going to squeeze it out so all the juice and the water from it comes out, because we don't want that in the Adana kebab. If you remember my Seekh kebab, the Seekh kebab video that I showed you, I made for you guys, I have almost done the same procedure in the chicken Seekh kebabs. If you want to watch that video, I'll put a link of that in the description box below. So now all my mixture is in this muslin cloth. I'm going to just squeeze out the water from it. As you can see, it's already coming out. I haven't squeezed it yet, but there's so much of water, it's already coming out. Well, we don't need all these juices. We're going to squeeze this out. So all the water is out. These are all over here now, nice and dry. I'm going to empty out this in another bowl. And now I'm going to put this aside. Now I'm going to start working with the ground chicken. So the ground chicken, which was 2 pounds, the one I showed you, I'm going to add all these seasonings to it. So for this recipe, for the Adana kebab, you're supposed to use 60% of meat and 40% of fat. But since my ground chicken is so lean, it doesn't have any fat, and I didn't have any extra fat from anywhere else to put it in. So I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of ghee to this. This is clarified butter. You can also use the regular butter that we use in the houses. I'm also going to use salt. Salt is as per your taste, but I'm using here 1.5 teaspoon. Then I'm using 1 teaspoon of red chili flakes, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of paprika powder, or also known as Kashmiri mirch, and 1 teaspoon of lemon juice. So we're going to put all these ingredients in the same food processor, and we're going to mix up all of these together with the ground chicken. The ground chicken is all mixed together, and now we have one last step left before we let this marinate, and that step is to mix up this chicken with these seasonings. So I'm going to empty it out in a large bowl, and we'll combine these two things and then we'll mix them up together. So this is going to here too. Now I'm going to mix up everything. After mixing this, I'm going to cover it and I will let this marinate for about 30 minutes to 1 hour. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and prepare my skewers for this, because for the chicken Adana kebab, we cannot use the regular round skewers. We have to use the flat skewers and I don't have them, so I'm going to make it at home and I'll show you how we can do that. The next part is to make the skewers. So by using these wooden skewers, we could also make flat skewers. What you can do is you can take maybe 6 of them to give that same width of the skewer. So I'm taking 6 of these wooden skewers, and in a foil paper, just like that, I'm gonna roll it so that this can act like our skewer, flat skewer. Just hold on to it tight so it doesn't kind of overlap each other. We just want it to be flat because we want that flat skewer look. So this is how you can make a flat skewer using the wooden skewers. The ends could be folded like that. So this is a perfect way to make wooden skewers, and then you can put the kebab on this. But I don't have a lot of skewers today, so I have these skewers that I'm gonna use, but these skewers are kind of open from the end, so I'm gonna use a foil paper just like this and wrap it around here so that when I make my kebabs, I don't have a problem putting them together. This is gonna act as a flat skewer for me. So I'm using this today. But for those of you who don't have the flat skewer, you can definitely use this method. So now it has been 1 hour and this chicken has been marinating, and we can now start doing these. The skewers that I'm using today are 4 of these and 1 of this, and then I don't know how many kebabs we will be able to make from this. So let's get started and let's see how many we can make. So I'm taking a bowl full of water and I'm gonna wet my hands and take up the kebab mixture from here. So I'll start with this first. I'm gonna take about this much, I would say, a little bit more maybe. So let's see. I have this here and I'm going to put this in between like this and go all around the same way how we did the Seekh kebabs the other day. Same way we have to go around. The right hand goes around, the left hand is also going around. So we're gonna spread it out like this. It's gonna be easier if your hands are wet. So after spreading this out evenly, now we're gonna make those ridges that you see in the Adana kebab. So again, I'm gonna wet my hands, and with the help of my thumb and my middle finger, I'm just gonna go like this. And make ridges like this. So this is how it's gonna look. Now I'm gonna put this on my grill, and this is preheating, and I put 1 tablespoon of oil on here, and I'm gonna make the other ones the same way. This time I'm gonna use this skewer and see how this works. I'm gonna again wet my hands and take out a big whole handful of this material that we made, and I'm gonna put it on this skewer. So now that I have made it like this, I'm gonna again wet my hands and make those ridges by squeezing it like this. So there we have the ridges. Now I'm gonna put this also on my tawa, and let's see how this fits. Okay. So the first one, we're gonna turn that and see how this one is doing. Yeah, it has cooked from this side. And we'll keep on turning the sides and we'll keep on checking. The time we see that the kebabs are done and the chicken is cooked, that's the time we're going to take it out of the grill. So some of the kebabs I have made here are, I'm gonna put them in the oven. You can also make these in the oven. So the oven has to be preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And I'm gonna put them in the oven for, I would say, about 40 minutes, but you'll have to keep on checking at your at these pieces to see if they're ready, because you don't want to overcook them. So if you overcook them, they're going to become really dry and they won't stay juicy. So here is my plate ready. I'm serving it with rice and some salad and some garlic mayo. I have already given you the recipe of this garlic mayo in the chicken paratha roll video. In case you missed that or you want a link for this garlic mayo sauce, I'll put it in the description box below. Look at my plate. It looks so scrumptious. The chicken Adana kebab is ready, the rice is ready, the salad is ready, and the sauce is ready to go with it. It is delicious. I'm sure the look can tell me that it is going to taste awesome. Please let me know what you think about this recipe. Do let me know your feedback, if it turned out good for you or not. I'll see you tomorrow inshallah with another recipe. Allah Hafiz guys.